In this session, I want to share with you the proven formula to crack faith, to crack absolute knowing that your manifestation is already done. And I've seen a lot of times people using faith and the lack of faith as a self-sabotage. Like, oh, I don't understand why I don't believe that. I don't understand why I don't have faith. What shall I do? It's faith is not something that you're born with. It's not something that either you have or you don't. It's something that you can learn. It's a skill, and you can actually learn the skill, and you can embody that skill, and you can crack it every single time, no matter how big your vision is. Now, when I say proven formula, the reason I'm saying is it's because it's based on Bob Proctor's work for 9 years. So it took him 9 years to really figure this out. And then when I learned from him, I took so many years to really embody and understand it and really make it in such a way that anybody can take this formula and they can crack it straight away. Okay. So when it comes to faith, it's really important to understand how our mind works. And any idea can be manifested through our mind when we really understand how this state of faith actually happens. Like, what is this state of faith? So Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, he said that explaining faith to somebody is like explaining the color red to a blind person. Like, it's very hard to explain, right? But the key with faith is that you can start to embody that when you start doing these things, and there is no other way, because this is literally how our mind works. And anybody from any background, any trauma, anywhere you are, you can still embody faith, because this is how it works, this is how our mind works, and this always works. So the first thing with faith, what we want to understand is that any idea that we keep on repeating, that we keep on thinking about, that we keep on feeling, even if we're coming from the place of fear, like we don't want that to happen, but we are just thinking about it constantly, or we are talking about it, or we are giving it focus and attention, we are going to start believing into it. So like Bob Proctor said, if you write a lie on a card and you read it often enough, you're going to believe it. Now, the reason is not because of what's written on the card. The reason is because you're exposing your mind to that thing over a period of time. You're going to just start to just believe it. It's going to become normal. And there's a really powerful example to understand faith, which is when people start doing, robbery or crime, right? In the beginning, nobody likes crime. Like, nobody thinks, oh my God, this is such a good thing to do, because we all feel abhorrence towards the crime. But if they stay around the crime and the environment, and people are doing this and these things become normal, killings become normal, robbing people, snatching things become normal, then for them it's like they grow into that idea, although that idea is still as bad as not good, right? But they just become attuned to that. It's normal. Similarly, if you hang around a lot of wealth, a lot of abundance long enough, like Denzel Washington said, if you hang around in the barber shop long enough, you're going to have a haircut, because everybody's having a haircut. It's normal. It's not a big deal, right? So with faith, the key is to hang around with that idea so that you can normalize it. And it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Now, there's a really powerful way to crack this. And there are 3 steps to really put this home, like to really take you home with this, right? The first step is why you want to understand logically and consciously, because a lot of times people try to force affirm something and they're really forcing themselves to believe it. But every time they're affirming, they're actually thinking and feeling the opposite, and they're thinking how it's not going to happen and how it's so hard, and they're actually manifesting and actually building the opposite faith, lack of faith. Okay, so what you really want to do is, ask yourself, what are my logical reasons why it's not possible? And you want to write all of them down. So when I did that with manifesting my dream business, and this thing worked in weeks, and I was trying for 2 years and it didn't work. So I cracked the 2 years thing in weeks when I really got these 3 steps. So the first thing that you really want to do is you want to write all the reasons why you think it's not going to be possible. So I wrote, I'm not really good at marketing. I may not be a good coach. There are so many other people who are doing what I'm doing. There is not a huge demand. Like all the reasons that I thought logically, I wrote them and I questioned them. Okay. I said, is it true that I'm not the greatest coach? Like, is that true? Do the facts say that? Do my current client results say that? No, right? That's far from true. That's not true at all. I have incredible results. Like, I have people coming to me saying, after one session, my whole life changed. Like, I've been trying to figure this out for 20 years, 30 years, in one conversation, and everything changed for me. People manifesting money, breaking through, turning their annual income into month. Like, this is not true, right? Then what I realized was that also, when I'm saying I'm not good at marketing, what does it mean? Is it on my birth certificate that I'm not good at marketing? And I'm saying, oh, I feel bad selling. I don't want to take other people's money. What happens when I take other people's money? In return, I give them their dream life. That is worth 2 trillion times more to them than the money I'm taking. So actually, I'm adding increase in their life. So I wrote every single thing, even the technical things, the things which are more like emotional and all those things. I wrote every single thing, from I don't know this, I can't do this, the economy, the market, the this, everything. And I made the list and I logically questioned those things. Okay. Now, when you logically question, you have to find the proper reason to convince your logical mind. One of the things you can do is you can find somebody who's doing what you want to do with your constraints and with your circumstances, and you can see the proof. So one of the things I had was that I've got 4 kids under 8, right? And maybe you can still hear them playing, and my husband is looking after them right now. But one of the things was, who would look after them, right? How would I get time? I'll always be a struggling mom, struggling with so many responsibilities. How will I be able to lead other people? How would I be able to have a thriving business? And what I realized was, this was not true. Then I found other moms with 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids thriving. And I realized that it is possible. So sometimes looking at other people with the same constraints, like which we think are constrained, really help us. The second thing, what you can do is you can start to really shift that and give yourself an insanely crazy, ridiculous, powerful, out of this world belief, right? So I said to myself, the reason that I'll be so successful, and the reason I'm so successful now, and the reason I'm meant to thrive is because I have kids. Now, in logical terms, it doesn't make sense. Like somebody would say, have you lost your mind? Like, what are you talking about? Doesn't make any logical sense. Like you have so much responsibility. But when I started to do that, what I realized was I changed and I switched the filter of my mind. So previously I was looking from the filter of, yes, I don't have time, and I had no time and I was struggling. When I changed the filter, I start to focus on all the reason. It's like, if I put a red filter in my glasses, I'll see everything red all of a sudden. If I put green, I'll see everything green. So when I change the filter, I start to see all the reason why I'll be so successful, because I've got 4 kids. I have more empathy. I have more nervous system regulation, because while one is doing this and the one is destroying this thing in the house, the other one is making a huge mess, and the other one is trying to do something, and I can manage all of that. I can still stay regulated with all of that. That means I have more nervous system regulation to receive money. My nervous system regulation is very, very stretched. I can handle pressure. I can handle, a little bit of like being stretched. So I have more empathy. I have more care. I can really connect with people more. I can empathize with people, right? So, and I realized that because of them, I have more drive. I really want to do this. Not just for me, but for them, like paving the way for them, showing them what is possible. I don't want my daughters to say the same thing and follow the same path that, oh, I can't do this because I have kids. Like, why every mother should sacrifice and for the next generation, and the next generation sacrifice for the next generation. What if we all thrive? So actually having them became my biggest motivation power. It became my burning desire. And then, funnily enough, I bumped into a woman who came to our house. She was single. She didn't have kids. And in my opinion, if she was single, she didn't have kids, she had all the time on this planet. But she said to me, I don't have that drive because I don't feel motivated. Who do I do it for? So when I change my filter, I start seeing the proof. Then something crazy happened. When my fourth one was really little, that time I used to do Facebook live every single day. And when she was born, I still wanted to continue doing live, but I had no choice except to hold her because, she was so close to me and sometimes my husband wasn't available. So I would just hold her in my lives. And my lives would get thousands of views because there was a really good hook. She's holding a cute baby in her hand. Who does that? While teaching manifestation and self-concept. So my live started to get huge views, right? So the point of explaining all of that is that whatever you see as your limitation right now is your superpower. So so now the key is you uncover what it is, you take on a new belief. But when you take on a new belief, you're not going to believe it and it's going to sound ridiculous. Okay, so don't force yourself to say, okay, I've switched it. Now I have to just force myself into believing it. What is wrong with me? The more you do that, the more you're going to reinforce not believing part because you're emotionally getting involved with the idea that what is wrong with me? Why I'm not believing it. Instead, what you want to do is you want to say, how would that feel if that was true? So this is the most powerful phrase in manifestation, really, that I've used. This is the most powerful phrase. How would it feel if it was true? Because what you're doing is you're now casting an energetic projection by not saying your mind it's true because it's going to fight you. It has all the reasons it hasn't been true based on your past. But you're saying, okay, let's cast that projection and normalize it for me. Let's keep going on that feeling until I expose myself to that feeling so much that it just becomes normal, like the way I just discussed with you how our mind works. When you expose something to the feeling, to the idea over a period of time, you become one with it, you fuse with it, it's normal. If you hang around long enough, you're going to get a haircut. Okay, so what you do is you say, how would it feel if that was true? How would it feel if money came to me so easily? How would it feel if my work was so powerful? How would it feel if there was a huge demand? And not only you tap into the feeling, but you start to create images, you start to create stories, you start to create scenarios. So I use this belief for my consulting business and open the doors to $1 million partnerships within weeks. On paper, it would have taken 6 years, 7 years. How did I do that? I said to myself, how would it feel if the companies really wanted what we have got to offer and they are so excited to work with us, to pay us, big companies are so excited to partner with us? How would it feel? And then I started creating images like we're entering the office. We had just talked to the reception. We had a meeting. We just got the contract. We signed the contract. The other company approached us for the partnership. And what happened after a few weeks, after like 2 to 3 weeks maximum, like from starting this, a company approached to us and said, we want to have a meeting with you, just on LinkedIn. And we met them. That is the number one company with the highest valued share. And you probably know the name. I don't want to disclose it because of confidentiality. They said to us, we have seen you on LinkedIn and we want to partner with you because we really need what you're offering. We don't have it. We want to partner with you for our clients, for internally, for all of that. How did that happen? Because of this. Because when you cast those energetic projections, you are going on that frequency, you're rewiring your neurons, your brain cells now to build new neuron connections. That means you're normalizing that. That means now you're going to start thinking, feeling, and operating from that place. It's going to become your new reality. It's going to become normal. And anybody can do that. All you have to do is ask yourself, how would it feel if that was true? Now, to fast track that, because remember I told you can do it in weeks, you can manifest that in weeks. We don't even talk about months anymore in my world because that's too long. What you do is you say, how would I behave if that was true? So it's like you're hitting the ground running. You don't wait to hit the ground to run. It's like when you're in the parachute, you just jump and you know the parachute is going to open. So you're like, how would that feel if I already was doing that? And the moment you solidify that thing with the action, it becomes solid. You can put a stamp on it. So while you're still rewiring, if you feel a lot of resistance, you can give it a week to really feel it. But now with the way I've done this so many times, I can really do it while while choosing the belief, I start taking action straight away, because I know whatever I take on, it happens, it manifests by law. So there is no resistance there. So the more you do this work, the faster you go, the faster you master this work. This is called manifestation mastery with your identity. So what you do is you say, how would I behave? That means you would reach out. That means you would take action. That means you would take action with delight, full confidence, no resistance, not thinking, what's the point of doing that? So what we also started doing, we started approaching companies for a consulting business. We approach with a frequency that we are coming to receive the partnership. We are coming to receive the work. We are coming to receive the value and the contracts that we are supposed to add value to, right? So as we did that with that frequency, it got solidified. And now I have this rock solid belief that what we offer is highly desired within weeks. And we saw the proof. And the more you see the proof then in the physical, the more your 3D, your outside reality, it amplifies the belief, the more it reinforces the old, like the new belief, and the old beliefs completely dies. But these 3 steps and this skill, anybody can do it. First, writing all the reasons why you can't, okay? Questioning them with logic. Logic is very important. We are logical beings. We are emotional beings with logic, okay? So if you don't prove it with logic, looking at other people's examples, questioning your old beliefs, questioning who, according to who? You can ask yourself, according to who? Is it the absolute truth? Is it the absolute truth? Is it true for the whole world, right? And then you start to feel it. And then you start to cast energetic projection with scenarios. Scenarios are really powerful. Creating stories, creating images, like saying to yourself, okay, I have 10 minutes. I'm going to sit and create a scenario of this thing happening. I'm going to really see it, feel it. I'm casting energetic projection. And as you keep doing it, you take action to solidify. You take action with that frequency. When I say take action, what it means is, if that was true, how would you behave? So a lot of times people say, oh, is it about taking action? Is it not about taking action? And what I say is that if you knew there were $10 million waiting for you in your neighbor's house, now your neighbor is carrying $10 million for you, what would you do? You would go and get it? If you believed it was really there, would you go and get it? If it was yours, right? So that is action. So if you believed that your new identity, your new belief, your new pattern is true. So any belief that becomes who you are is an identity, right? Any belief that becomes, this is who I am now. It's not what I think, it's who I am. I live by this. It becomes your identity. So if you absolutely had the knowing that they have 10 million waiting for you, you would go and get it. So that's how simple the action is. It's a reflection of your thinking and your belief system and your identity. Everything is coming from there, because if you didn't really believe they're having, that is too good to be true, you wouldn't go and get it. So action is not the hardest part. A lot of people focus on take action. You would take action anyway if you believed. So focus on the identity, and the action will come natural, effortless. You won't be able to stop yourself. That's how powerful it's going to be.